Hey guys, I know that you're going through really tough times and it's not the best situation to discuss, I think, but I know that you're waiting for me to react on this, and I also want to know the situation better, what's going on in India, so I cannot stay aside from it. You know what happened in Kashmir and how India reacted to it, and recently I watched the news about this situation, how India strikes Pakistan and the operation Sindoor. So, it was 2 days ago, and now we will watch about the latest updates. So stay alerted, stay safe, and we can only watch the situation, how it's going. What can we do, right? But please stay safe. Latest updates, let's go.
Pakistan was sleeping quietly on the night of the 7th of May 2025. Then, at 1:05 a.m., everything changed. India launched airstrikes on 9 different spots across Pakistan.
But they attacked only
India
terrorists.
Says over 70 militants were killed. Pakistan's now calling it an act of war. Don't forget, both countries have nuclear weapons.
Oh,
the big
it's
question
bad.
is,
It's
will
bad.
Pakistan strike back? On April 22nd in Kashmir, 4 terrorists crossed over the Pakistan and opened fire on tourists, killing 26 people. All across India, people are furious. They marched in protest. After that, India took a calmer approach. They stopped talks with Pakistan and froze the river water pact that sends water from India to Pakistan.
Smart decision, right?
Pakistan didn't take it lying down. Their leaders shot back. If you block our water, you'll have blood in those rivers. The Indian Prime Minister gave full permission to pick targets, make plans, and act as they saw fit. Intelligence agencies went to work tracking down those terrorists, and the army took its positions along the border. Fighter jets ran drills in the sky, warships patrolled the waters, and soldiers loaded their weapons. Pakistan was on high alert. Nobody there was getting much sleep. It felt like everyone knew something big was coming. On the night of May 7th, 2025, Pakistan was quiet and dark. Most people were asleep in their homes. Then at exactly 1:05 a.m., the whole mood changed. Indian jets lifted off from their runways. In total, they launched 24 rockets. These missiles flew
What's the
fast
problem
and
if
true
they killed
toward 9
terrorists?
hidden militant camps. Some camps were tucked away in the hills of Pakistan, administered Kashmir. Others lay out in farming areas in Punjab. India's planners had picked these sites carefully because they believed this is where the militants were. Within minutes, each missile hit its mark. In Muzaffarabad, locals heard deep booms and saw tall clouds of smoke.
Of
In
course
Katli
locals
and
were
Shakadar,
scared.
flames lit up dark fields. In Ahmedpur Shakia, villagers ran outside to find the ground shaking and dust rising where a camp once stood. Indian leaders say they aimed only at the camps. No homes, schools, or army bases were touched.
What's
They
the
made sure
problem?
the attack was precise to spare ordinary people. By 1:25 a.m., the final missile fell into its target and the attack was over. Back at Indian command centers, officers watched their screens and saw that the operation went as planned. The jets returned to base. Over the border, Pakistan's reaction was quick and intense. Air raid sirens screamed in cities. Soldiers ran to their stations. Radar dishes turned to track the skies. Families woke up in panic, huddling in basements or rushing into the streets. No one slept that night. By morning, the news came out. India says about 50+ militants were killed in the strikes. Pakistan's leaders condemned the attack as an act of war and warned they might respond soon. Masood Azhar was one of India's top terror targets. Intelligence said he helped plan the April 22nd attack in Pahalgam and ran training camps in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. When India struck on May 7th, they aimed at his hideout near Katli, hitting 9 spots with 24 precision missiles. But Azhar wasn't there. He'd slipped away just hours earlier. Tragically, about 10 of his family members were killed when their house next to the camp was struck. As for Ajahar himself, no one knows for sure what happened to him during the raid. He could still be alive, hiding somewhere, or he might have been injured or killed later. And this isn't the only clash that happened between India and Pakistan. On September 18th, 2016, 4 militants slipped across the line of control from Pakistan into Uri, Kashmir. Under cover of darkness, they breached the camp fence and opened fire on sleeping soldiers.
It was in one
By
of the
time
movies
help
I
arrived,
watched.
19
It was
Indian
terrible.
soldiers were dead and over 30 wounded. The attackers then vanished back across the border. India reacted with outrage,
Damn, I have
blaming
goosebumps.
Pakistan-based groups for the
I
raid.
remember this story.
Diplomatic ties and some trade with Pakistan were scaled back immediately. India's surgical strikes 10 days later, on the night of September 28th to 29th, India launched surgical strikes against militant camps across the line of control. Quiet planning intelligence pinpointed the exact locations of 7 militant launch pads. Only top commanders knew the plan. Stealth crossing after midnight. Para-special forces teams crossed the line of control on foot, avoiding patrols in rough terrain. Precision raids. They hit each camp with explosives and grenades, destroying bunkers, weapons, and communication gear. Brief firefights broke out, but the strikes
sure
were
these
over in
scenes are from the
minutes.
movie I have
Swift
watched.
withdrawal. Troops
Yeah,
pulled
this one.
back across the border quickly, leaving flattened camps behind. Public reveal. At dawn on September 29th, India announced it had destroyed the launch pads and killed a significant number of militants with no Indian casualties. Pakistan denied any incursion, calling India's claims propaganda. Global leaders urged both sides to
Gaslighting.
avoid escalation, warning that conflict between 2 nuclear powers could be disastrous. On
Yeah,
February
Putin.
14th, 2019, a suicide bomber from the militant group Jaish-e-Mohammed rammed an explosive-laden SUV into a convoy of India's Central Reserve Police Force, CRPF, near Pulwama in Indian-administered Kashmir. The convoy was carrying about 78 vehicles and nearly 2,500 officers on their way to provide security for local elections. The blast happened around 3:15 p.m., ripping through one of the buses. Tragically, 40 CRPF personnel lost their lives and more than 60 were injured. The attack was one of the deadliest against Indian security forces in decades and sparked a widespread anger and grief across India. India's
Why are
response,
they doing
just
it?
days later, on February 26th, India
So
launched
unfair.
Operation Swift Retort under cover of darkness before dawn. Indian Air Force Mirage 2000 jets crossed the line of control and dropped precision bombs on what they called a Jaish training camp in Balakot, Pakistan-administered Kashmir. India said it had struck the camp where the Pulwama attackers were trained. Pakistan scrambled its air defenses, and in a brief dogfight, both sides claimed to have downed enemy aircraft. One Indian MiG-21 Bison was shot down and its pilot was captured, though he was returned safely to India 2 days later. Pakistan also reported losing one F-16 jet, but India denied this claim. And now, on May 7th, 2025, India called its airstrike Operation Sindoor. In Hindu tradition, a husband applies Sindoor, vermilion, to his wife's hair, part as a sign of love and marriage. The name honors the memory of the Pahalgam attack victim whose husband was killed. His widow's Sindoor now marks her loss. India was quick to say its May 7th strikes were aimed only at terrorists, not at Pakistan itself. Operation Sindoor targeted militant camps and training facilities, not civilian areas or military bases. But Pakistan didn't stop there. In Islamabad, top security officials have been holding emergency meetings around the clock, weighing their options. Publicly, Pakistani leaders have reminded everyone that their country is a nuclear power and that their missiles are built to be used, not just stored
I'm
in
sorry.
silos. I'm not here to push any site's agenda.
It will
I just
affect
wanna bring
literally
you the real
the
facts
whole
from the
world.
ground. And your one like and subscribe motivates me and my team. The tension
Yeah,
is
like
real
and
on the
subscribe.
ground.
Oh, I
Almost
thought it was dead.
immediately after Operation Sindoor, Pakistani forces opened heavy
Political
artillery
leaders
fire
of all
crossed the line of
countries should
control.
really stop
Today,
it.
the Indian government said that Pakistan struck back on the night of May 8th, firing
Where are we
drones
going?
and missiles at places like Srinagar, Jammu, and Amritsar. India's air defense system shot down every threat, and destroyed drones and missiles are being collected as proof. Early this
Good.
morning, India hit back at Pakistan's air defense radars, knocking out at least one system near Lahore. Along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan also fired mortars and heavy artillery into border villages in Poonch and Rajouri. Local officials report that at least 15 civilians, including women and children, were killed in the shelling, with 43 more injured. India's leaders are watching Pakistan's movements closely. India's military remains on high alert along the border, with fighter jets scrambling on training missions and troops reinforcing
so
forward
sorry,
positions.
it's really
The Prime
going
Minister
on.
has publicly said that India wants peace, but will not hesitate to defend itself. Ordinary Pakistani citizens, already struggling with high inflation and a shaky economy, now face the added fear that a full-scale war could break out at any moment. People report sleeping with one ear open for sirens, and families are quietly
Pakistani government
stockpiling
doesn't
food and
even
water
care
just
about
in
its
case.
people.
For now, both countries are locked in dangerous standoff. India insists it struck only terrorists. Pakistan insists it has the right to respond. Meanwhile, ordinary people on both sides of the border watch and wait, hoping the crisis ends without sliding into
Citizens
open war.
from
Will
both
Pakistan
sides,
reply
they're just-
with full force
they don't want
military
war.
action? I never imagined my last video would go viral. Thank you for all the responses. If you haven't seen it yet, the link is in the description. That's all for today. Stay alert and see you soon.
Like this guy, he's really doing nice videos. So informative, he mentioned everything. He even put the scenes from the movie that I've watched, and it was such an important movie. I remember all of it. And he also added some information that I didn't even know. It was interesting, but terrifying. Not gonna lie to you, it really feels bad. Both of these countries have nuclear power. Nice, nice. Let's destroy the world. Why not? Why not? What else can we do? Just joke around about it. Jai Shri Ram, support India from Greece. Yeah, other countries should not only support India, but also stop the conflict. Oh my god, like Russia, USA, European Union, they should really support India first of all. Oh, I'm sorry guys. Stay on high alert too. It's bad of course if you live somewhere closer to the border with Pakistan. I feel bad about you now. Maybe you can move somewhere far from it to the south, because I feel really anxious watching it. I'm sorry, really. Like for example, you know, the war between Russia and another country, and I live in the north of Russia, so it's really far from any country, so I don't have to care much about it. Like I feel safe here. Maybe also should move or try to move somewhere far. I don't know what to do, but you really cannot do anything about it. Just stay safe, think about your safety. That's all, because you cannot affect it anyhow. You're not in politics, so what can we do? Okay, I will watch the situation, I will see the updates, we'll talk about it. Maybe it will be easier for you if someone else is like I'm sympathizing with you when I'm like saying all of these things, that I also feel sorry. That's all that I can do now, just to support you emotionally. So yeah, stay safe and see you in the next videos. Stay tuned. Bye.